Katie Lashy, and I've been part of the Updox team for about 4 years now. We certainly have had a great opportunity to work with a lot of independent physicians and community health centers, such as the users of Solution Series. So I look forward to talking a little bit about our experiences with them and how we've translated that into solutions that really make your days easier. Just a little bit of background about us. We were started about 8 years ago by a doctor named Andy Barbash. At the time, he was pretty frustrated with faxing and communication solutions available in general to the physicians out there. The rest of the world kind of moved forward into the email universe, where it was really quick and easy to communicate with people outside of your immediate space, whereas with HIPAA coming around as well, doctors were still limited by the ability to kind of collaborate in an easy way. So you're still snail mailing, you're still faxing, you're still spending a lot of time on the phone. So he had this idea for a solution to streamline those communications, and that's kind of how we got our start. So since the very beginning, we've been an idea of a physician, and we cater our solutions that we build around physician workflows, specifically those in smaller practices generally. And our mission as a company has always been to help those practices make their lives easier, help them from a revenue perspective, and help them remain independent. Along that mission, we've been able to really build a robust solution for critical tools that you would use every day for patient engagement, for instance, or communication, which we're going to talk about today. Now, we have been partnering with Solution Series for just a few months now. We went live with this partnership back in February for some of the tools we're going to talk about today. But we actually have years of experience helping independent community health centers across some of our other partners. In fact, we serve more than 250,000 providers on our platform right now, which makes us the second largest information service provider in the country after SureScript. So while we're newer to the Solution Series base, we're certainly not new to the headaches that you all face on a daily basis. Now, as a partner, we're constantly challenging ourselves to align with your primary goals. So your primary goals, as far as we understand them, is to improve the care provided to your patients, obviously. But as you are a small practice, you're also running a business. So a concern for any business, large or small, is to maintain a budget and cut unnecessary costs wherever possible. Although with the healthcare industry, you certainly have an additional consideration for remaining independent. So we absolutely understand the concerns there. And technology as a whole can really come in handy when you're trying to streamline processes and cut some of the fat from the time that you spend doing things today. But we also understand that you have too many technology partners, you end up hindering your productivity even further because you're maximizing and minimizing windows and troubleshooting with 5 different support teams. And from a cost perspective, you're also paying 5 different base fees for those solutions. So while technology can certainly come in handy, if you have too many systems that you have to use to get through your day-to-day, it can head in the other direction. So what Updox, our universal inbox, enables you to do is complete the work that 3 to 5 point solutions or vendor partners would help you get through. And we consolidate all of that into a single application, which integrates really seamlessly with Solution Series. So you have one app, one window, one pricing point, one support team for multiple solutions that all kind of work together to reduce some of the time you spend on certain workflows and help you boost engagement and improve your revenue for your practice. Just thinking through what your practice looks like on a day-to-day, at any given moment, someone's managing incoming and outgoing faxes, either through paper or DocMan, which we'll talk about that here shortly. Someone needs to greet the patients waiting in the waiting room, get them a clipboard for paperwork, collect co-pays. Someone's checking out patients, scheduling necessary follow-up. You'll also need to call tomorrow's patients to remind them of their appointments and get any no-shows or cancellations back on the schedule. So a lot of phone time there. And then you'll be collecting balances due on last week's appointments too, so chasing a bit of that payment as well. Beyond that, you also have patients calling into the system with the practice with questions. So it could take 3 to 4 touches to connect with a patient, confirm the need for an appointment, and get them on the schedule. So long story short, Updox helps your practice in a lot of different ways, but I just wanted to make sure you understood that we understand, even though what we're able to do with patient engagement and simplifying some of your workflows, what makes us really valuable is that we also carve out time for some of the other stuff that we know you're doing, that we know you're focusing on, that we know is important to you. Updox helps carve out some more time for that. And unfortunately, the reality is when you're doing all these things and you have all these requirements, most of the independent physicians practices that we speak with have a support staff of 3 or fewer. So you're doing all of these things with a bare bones team, probably that are all a little bit stretched thin when it comes to those things. So with a single application, how we're able to help is with a user-friendly, easy as email, web-based application. You can access it anywhere with an internet connection, so on your computer, on your phone, from home, and your team gets the benefit of learning one program with features that kind of spiderweb out to really impact the practice overall. From a solutions perspective, we have solutions to address relationships across a few different audiences, so communication with other providers as well as communication with patients. And what we do is help you enhance all of those relationships as well. So solutions like the integrated fax or direct secure email help facilitate a channel to manage the provider to provider. And then we also have reminders and blast on target or on-demand notifications to help communicate with patients in an easier way. And those notifications can also be used to communicate with providers as well. So we'll get into a little bit of the nitty-gritty here in a moment, but just kind of setting the scene for where you're going to access all of this functionality. One big way that we differentiate ourselves across a lot of the competitors out there is that we haven't stayed surface level on any of our solutions. So we're not a faxing company with a couple reminders features or a reminders company with an OK notification service. We've really gone deep kind of across all of them. Oftentimes we know exactly who we're being considered alongside if you're considering other vendors. So we will methodically develop our workflows and our solution to be exactly what you need and make sure we're addressing all those concerns as you might be considering other things. So the universal inbox is where we're going to centralize all of the notifications that come from these communications tools. So again, web-based, so you can access it anywhere with an internet connection. It's going to be kind of a one-stop shop for your messages, whether they're faxes coming in from other providers, internal messages. So a lot of practices will use Updox as a secure way to exchange messages within the practice. You'll also receive appointment cancellations in here, and this will be the tool that you use to send out automated appointment reminders or blast notifications as well. So it's really slick because it can be accessed anywhere with an internet connection, and because we're able to offer a reminder solution, you're able to access this along with your schedule on the go as well. So you're no longer tied to the office because of your schedule being inside of your eMDs solution series. You actually are able to look at your schedule on the go too. So unlimited users, we do free setup and training as well. So kind of introducing you to this inbox. I wanted to step you through a few of the features that have really kind of gotten noticed from Solution Series customers in the last few months. And the first one that I wanted to talk about was our appointment reminder solution. So what a reminder solution that's effective should do is reduce and eliminate the no-show rate, which can be as much as 7% across a standard independent physician practice. We want to free up the staff time spent manually reminding patients, which is probably what a lot of the people on the call today really care about, is those hours every single day reminding patients, sometimes in vain, and then getting those that end up canceling or rescheduling back on the schedule. We also help you backfill canceled appointment slots. So if you reminded Susan, for instance, that she had an appointment next week and she said, oh, I can't make that anymore, in your current setup, you'd probably call her a day ahead of time and wouldn't have time to get another patient through the door. But with a streamlined reminder solution, we can help you backfill that appointment because we reminded Susan a week ahead of time without you having to spend any time on it. And so she gave you a heads up that you had another slot for a patient. So backfilling those canceled appointment slots is really important. And overall, just engaging patients in their care. They're obviously easier to care for and counsel if they're in front of you. So getting patients through the door to those appointments certainly goes a long way in engaging them in their care. At the highest level, we offer up to 3 appointment reminders for each appointment on your schedule. And we can deliver these by phone call, text message, or email. And what's really slick about our Integration with Solutions series is that we read your schedule in real time. So if you're moving appointments around because they ask for a different time, we kind of keep up to date with that. And you won't have to do like an export and then upload into a reminder solution every day or every week to get these out the door. We're going to look at that in real time. So basically, when selecting your appointment reminders, right inside of that same universal inbox that we had started on, you would open your reminders panel and you choose the medium that you want the reminder to go out. So either an email, a text message, or a phone call, either to their home or to their mobile number. And then you select the time frame that you want that reminder to go out. And it can be as easy as that. We've gone a bit deeper as well, where if you wanted to black out certain times of day, so you don't want to remind your patients after 7:30 p.m. or before 7 a.m., we have the ability to filter those out. We have the ability not to remind patients on the weekend so that they don't get crabby if they get a reminder on the weekend from you. You have the ability to allow patients to confirm or cancel right from that reminder or call the office, and you have the flexibility to choose how interactive you want that to be. So some practices choose not to give them the option to call the office. Some practices decide not to give them the option to cancel their appointment just to confirm. We certainly have the flexibility to accommodate that as well. We also have the ability to give you a library, so you have about 15 out-of-the-box templates that can be delivered by phone, text, or email, and then you have the ability to build your own custom templates as well. So if you wanted to include something special in a message, you have the ability to key that out. You can tie certain reminder messages to appointment types. So if you needed to have a patient fast before an appointment or bring their medications with them for physicals, you could have a specific reminder that goes out for a specific appointment type, which is a really neat feature that definitely puts some practices' minds at ease, because they feel that manually making those calls gives them the opportunity to remind the patient to fast, whereas these custom reminders by appointment type takes care of that for you too. So from here, what you would do, and what's kind of nice about our interface too, we know that a big concern for practices is what the patient experience or perception is when you're doing some of these automated technology things. So what we do is, when you're going to send a text reminder, we'll show you what it's going to look like on the screen. If you're going to do a phone reminder, you can call yourself and listen to it. And that way you can set the patient expectation and understand what they're seeing and hearing from your practice. We have the ability to support on the phone side both an automated computer voice, or if you wanted to do human voice, we have the ability to support that as well. And if you had foreign languages that you wanted these reminders to be delivered in, we can support that on the phone side too. If you have multiple locations, we have the ability to support that with our reminder solution as well. So you could have certain reminders depending on which location the appointment's going to. And I think the only kind of neat functionality that I haven't mentioned so far is block scheduling. So we can accommodate if you do block scheduling where a patient actually appears on your schedule 3 times in a row and you only want to remind them for the first one, we have the ability to manage that and filter that out as well. So we've been delivering this solution to practices for about 2 years now, and we've had a couple iterations where we've really ramped up the functionality. Another kind of cool thing about Updox is that we're a very agile company. So if we work with a customer and they say, this is really important to me, this is a feature that would really help, we do a really great job of turning that into solutions that really fit those specific needs. And we've had the opportunity to do that 2 times now in our 2-year-old product. So something really exciting about the way we work compared to some of the companies that have been a little bit more stationary in their development. The other thing that we try to do is give you opportunity to audit or see results. So if a patient cancels their appointment, we'll give you an inbox notification letting you know why and who the patient is and when the appointment is, so that you can get them back on the schedule. We're also going to show you this dashboard view at any given time, and this is neat to access from home if you're wondering what kind of appointments you have the next day and how many of them have confirmed. Right inside of your Updox application, you can look at the dashboard and see appointments in a date range or over the course of time. You can sort by the date and time, the provider, the type, the patient, or even the response action. And we're going to let you know on a rolled up level what the status is on these appointments, and on a drilled down level, we can tell you what reminders have gone out and what the outcome was on those reminders. So if we left a message or if they answered, we give you all of that detail too. So a really neat dashboard for you to keep track of that. So those are kind of some of the day-to-day value statements that we would talk through for reminders and how that impacts your business. But the other consideration, in case there's anyone from a revenue perspective on the line here, is the amount of revenue we're able to put back into a practice, again, to help you remain independent in today's society. So industry standard, there's about 100 appointments on a single provider's weekly schedule, and 7 of them, or on a monthly schedule, 20 a day on a weekly schedule. An industry average is 7 for no-shows. So if you think about a $20 copay and an average reimbursement of $90, that practice could be losing as much as $800 a week, which actually rolls into $41,000 annually. So what we are able to do with this reminder solution is, number one, save you time on the phone, so you're not making these calls anymore. Even going beyond that, we're going to give you the ability to deliver the messages by text too. So we're going to bring you into the everything at your fingertips patient mindset there to help drive attendance to those appointments. And when we do drive attendance to those appointments, we end up cutting your no-show rate by as much as 30%, which puts another $12,500 per provider back into your practice budget on an annual basis. So there's the time consideration, there's the patient expectation consideration, and then there's the hard dollars that come with a solution like this and how that benefits your practice. The next solution I wanted to chat about is another kind of in the same vein of patient engagement and patient communication. So now that we've reminded your patients to come to their appointments and they're getting there, those that do have to cancel, how do we get them back on the schedule? Or those that haven't seen you in a certain amount of time, how do we get them back on the schedule? The Blast tool is a really great tool for that, because what that allows you to do is send on-demand notifications. So you could send a phone call, a text message, or an email. We have, again, out-of-the-box or fully customizable templates on what you want those messages to say, and we make it really, really easy for you to target patient segments or groups of contacts in your Rolodex to get the word out for a few different examples. So how would that translate into helping patients? So from a patient perspective, it's going to help your practice boost revenue, because the first and obvious use case for Blast is getting no-shows or canceled appointments back on the schedule without putting in your staff time to chase them down. We also saw a really great use case for the Blast solution for flu clinics and immunizations at the close of the year. So sending a message letting them know you're doing these things drives attendance to those, and you collect copays there as well, or reimbursements rather. Or if your patients are due for annual screenings or sports physicals, any of those types of situations would be a really great way to help boost revenue for your practice. It also helps build relationships, so kind of giving your patients the warm and fuzzies if you wanted to send birthday greetings out or thank you messages to patients who have had appointments the previous week. It's also going to reduce the administrative burden if something like a practice office closure is unexpected, or if someone in the office is ill and can't see patients that day. We're going to help you get the word out to those patients and also get them back on the schedule. And then it can also help you stay compliant. So if you wanted to direct anyone who's had a cholesterol screening in the past month or so to a URL with educational content, that helps with CMS requirements. Kind of getting beyond the patient, though, we also see a lot of use for notifications when it comes to your contact Rolodex. So this is hitting kind of both check boxes for boosting revenue and nurturing relationships, because what it helps you do is stay in front of your existing referral sources. So if you send them something every week or every month, thanking them for the partnership or updating them with anything new about your practice, you kind of stay front of mind to them and help facilitate more referrals. You could also message potential new referral sources, letting them know about a new location or service offering, or if there's someone that you're not currently collaborating with that you want to let know about your business. This would be a really great tool for that too, because you can just load the list in, draft the message, and send it out by phone call, text, or email. As with all of our solutions, we make the drafting or configuration of a Blast message super, super simple. Out of the box, you'll have frequently used lists like today's birthdays, next week's appointments, last month's appointments, that sort of thing. And then you can also drill down and do custom built lists based on hand-picking people you wanted to send a message to, or filter based on age or gender, those sort of things. You can create messages on the fly using Blast just by keying in the message and then hitting send, or you can build templates. If you find yourself sending the same template over and over again or recurring, you can create a template for that to save yourself keying in the messages. You can also schedule this to go out every Friday, thanking everyone who had an appointment that week, for instance, so that it seems like you're mindfully thanking them without having to mindfully thank them. So again, just patient engagement, staying in front of them, keeping that communication open and making them feel like a practice that's cutting edge and interactive with them. From a revenue impact perspective, so Blast is a really cool solution because the turnaround it can bring to a practice is immediate and tenfold, depending how you're using it. So at the simplest case, if every Monday you grab all of your patients who missed their appointments last week and haven't rescheduled, and you send them a quick blast letting them know that you noticed and you'd like them to get into the office, if even one of those patients reschedules with their copay and their reimbursement, one copay and reimbursement will pay for Blast for an entire month 3 times over. So at the very bare bones use case for that solution, the revenue impact is immediate, even outside of the benefit you're going to get from managing the relationship that way. The last solution I wanted to talk about is the electronic fax, which we've also been able to integrate really nicely with Solution Series. Now, I know that today you have DocMan available to you, and I know that Solution Series, even beyond some of our other partners that we help, definitely sees the value of an electronic fax because you've had this solution at your fingertips. So I think what I'll do is just kind of point out some of the key features that make us a really great additive solution, or if you wanted to use us instead, we're certainly comfortable going both ways. But I just wanted to kind of talk through some of the differences and why you might see Updox helping your practice for faxing even in addition to DocMan. So we make it really, really simple for you to review, split, and combine pages. So if you get a cover sheet that you don't want to send to the chart, or if you get one fax that has 2 patients, or one fax that needs to go to 2 different chart sections, we make it really easy for you to split those up. We also make it really easy for you to combine things. So if you're faxing out 3 different things from the chart and you don't want to fax 3 different things separately, you can push them all into Updox, combine them together, and then send them out as one document. We also have a really slick editor with signature, textability, highlighter, all kinds of stuff there. One-click signatures from the provider, that is. And then we can support either PDF or TIFF options. So if you keep like a blank form on your desktop and drag it into Updox, you can use our editor to mark it up and then send it out. Our faxing out capability is not just limited to what is coming out of Solution Series. You can actually fax anything out of your computer at all. So that's kind of a slick thing. And then we try to combine actions wherever possible. So you can fax and file at the same time. We have really great redundant audit trails so you can retrack things to you can retrace your steps to find out what went out and what the outcome was, and not have it conflict with incoming. So we're not going to tie up your fax line while faxing out. And again, we're web-based, so no hardware, no IT support required, and you can access anywhere with an internet connection and without having like a phone line nearby. The steps for working with an Updox would just be logging into that universal inbox that you're already using for reminders and Blast. You're able to review the faxes, so it looks a lot like email intentionally, so it's intuitive and easy for you to kind of see what fax is coming in and what pages would be there, break them apart, sign them if you need to, and then you're able to send it either directly to the patient's chart or out as a fax or both. So the simplicity of our workflow is definitely a differentiator for Updox. When you are reviewing and routing documents, with just a few clicks, you can either choose the whole document by hitting the Send Item button, or if you start picking and choosing pages with these checkboxes, you can kind of break it apart. You're also able to reorder pages. So if they come in the same order or if they come in upside down, we have a flip feature. So again, a lot of just easy to use functionality for this document management. If you needed to sign something, we do have a full-scale editor that lets you mark up a document, sign it, highlight it, erase something before sending it into the chart or before faxing out. Another great use case for this editor is the drag and drop feature that I had mentioned, where practices will often keep blank forms on their desktop and drag them into Updox, fill them out electronically, and then send out from there. The depth of our integration with Solution Series is such that we mimic the chart import so that it's really easy to use here too. So when importing an item, users will be able to select a specialty, a category, and a subcategory. And depending on the user's selections, the categories and subcategories will change to reflect the same options within Solution Series. So likewise, depending on the category and subcategory selected, the document checkbox list on the right-hand side will also change according to the user's preferences within Solution Series. So every time we build a solution or go into a new partnership, we try to figure out exactly what we're doing today, mimic it so that it's user-friendly, and then simplify it so that it's easier to use. So there's not a learning curve on learning a new solution, but there is the ease of use and the time savings still by the end. Now, if you wanted to also fax out, we do keep a search for additional contacts or users field here in the top right corner, because you're able to just type in a fax number and send that right out. If you needed to fax a couple different places, you could fax multiple places at once as well. As far as outbound faxing goes, we include a cover sheet kind of out of the box with your practice name, fax number, name and number of the place you're faxing to, and then anything that you wanted to type in the subject or note section you have available here too. So you have your title line, you choose your cover sheet, and you can choose a template or just type in a message if you want. So another great place for templates, if you find yourself typing the same sentence over and over again, is that you're able to kind of pick and choose instead of reinventing the wheel each time. In medical practices, people who still fax quite often, we've heard that there are times that faxes fail. Maybe the place you're trying to fax is still using a hard line that's busy, or maybe their hardware's off the hook. Pretty common problems that we hear about every day from our customers. So what we've done is built functionality to simplify the process when it happens and proactively notify you at the same time. So this is another one of the more loved features of our faxing, is how easy and comprehensive our audit trails are. We do try to fax several times, so if the fax machine is offline or there's a busy signal, we'll keep trying. And then if in the end we can't get the fax to go through because something is wrong on the receiving end, we'll give you a proactive notification at the top of your inbox that says, hey, this fax failed, this is why, here are the original pages, so that it's easy for you to send again. Now, we've also heard that even when a fax goes through successfully, oftentimes 3 days later, practices will be contacted and asked to resend information, which means the practice is often recompiling the information that went over in the first place rather than just hitting like resend or finding that file and sending it out. So Updox actually has everything stored and searchable. You can search by the name of the contact you sent it to or the patient that it was tied to, and we'll retrieve all those sent items for you so that it's super simple for you to pick that up and just send it again and not redo the work that you had done before. So just a quick overview of our faxing solution. Again, the Solution Series customers that we've been able to work with over the last few months since we went live with integration, I think actually each of them is using faxing in some way with Updox, either in addition to their DocMan or instead of their DocMan, for inbound or for outbound. And we're certainly flexible there. Just a really great tool to have kind of in the toolbox as you move forward with the productivity suite. From a customer experience perspective, I did want to talk through kind of the impact that we've had for some of our existing customers and how much time we've saved them as far as manual processes and resources. Definitely something that we've been able to help them accomplish as a partner so that they're no longer kind of burdened by the requirements that brought them to us, but more benefiting from the overall lift that we're able to give their practice. If after the presentation, I kind of wanted to talk next steps on how you can get more information, or how do we help customers at the point where they express interest. So we are actually so confident in the value that we're able to provide a practice that we offer a 15-day free trial. And during that time, we offer free training, we have free technical support forever, and we're a month-to-month service from there. So the fact that we're offering this trial period and that we're month-to-month from there means that we're on the hook to make your user experience perfect and keep you happy and show immediate impact and value of our solution. So definitely a testament to the way that we treat our customer base. So there's no hardware, there's no startup fee, we do free training, there's no contract, and we're a month-to-month service from there. If you wanted to move forward, you can go right to our website at updox.com, and there's a big button for a free trial. But oftentimes, since we are a newer solution, if you'd like a tailored demo ahead of time, or if you just wanted to talk workflow specific to your day, we'd like to help facilitate that as well. So our team will be following up to kind of connect you to our product experts, who would be happy to show you how everything works, answer any questions you have, see if it'd be a good fit. And those product demos are really awesome because it's a really great way to dig into what we do rather than kind of perusing our data sheets, watching web overviews. We can definitely talk about the value of the solution, but our product experts get into the nitty-gritty of how it's going to help your business, how quickly and how much you're going to love it ultimately, in a more tailored way, so that you can spend 15 to 20 minutes on a call with them and learn everything you need to know about Updox versus researching for a couple weeks in the background.